back to my channel. Welcome to Talkinsen. It's me, Ogechi. Welcome. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are listening to me from. As though I'm excited about this video is not necessarily something that is meant to be excitable about. So, I'm going to share some wisdom and advice with you. As you have seen, most of my videos nowadays are being based on advice given, and usually that's how my videos really go. There's a certain period where it's just advice, and then prayer. It's quite interesting that this period is usually the time I do focus so much, like honing on religious topics and prayer and things like that. Especially this month of February and March, that's usually how I've seen it, and even April, and then June I started doing like lifestyle content and stuff like that. So, anyways, that has not been the way it has been for this period, because this period has been impressed on me to just advise. That's because I've been seeing many things I feel needs attention, and we all ought to pay attention to them so as to address them, resolve them where there are issues, and learn where there is a lesson to learn. So please go to my channel. I've done so many, like about 3 to 4 videos of different advising videos, and I think it would benefit you. The last one I did, I think, is very helpful and would help you as a parent, um as of this video as well. So this video is also an advising video. In actually is stemming from some of the topics, the scenarios or the case studies that I mentioned in the previous video, where I was advising parents, and I focused this on African parents who are newcomers to the country and whose children are either in primary school or in secondary school, on how to navigate the system and also ensure your child has the best experience, as well as you having an impact in that education system that your child is in. So this video is kind of I wouldn't say it's a continuation, but it is a way of reflecting back on that video, just based on the case studies, and also pointing to other case studies that has um, motivated or inspired me to do the videos. For this particular video, I will play the videos that inspired this particular topic. I mentioned one of them in my previous video, where I talked about the case of school children of the same school bullying one particular student. Okay, so the bullies were of the same school as their victim. I'm going to play that video for you to listen to and hear what happened and the narration, and see for yourself the seriousness of the case that I'm talking about, that it shouldn't be something to be ignored. And then I will come back to you and start sharing my advice. And that's because I feel if left unchecked for too long and seen as one of those things, it would not help in progressing the students, neither would it help, especially the victim. That's really where my focus is. Neither would it help in helping the parents that has cried out, or the parents who children has been affected. But in this case, the parents whose child was bullied and abused, physically abused, and mentally being tortured as of current over the case. So this video is for this woman. If you know the woman, please, I beg you share this video. I tried the video, the person I watched it from, that's not the person that uploaded the video, and I couldn't find the woman's page, because I actually wanted to, I think it was sometime this week, I thought to just drop a message for her to say, oh, this is what you could do to help your child. But obviously I don't know the woman's handle. So this day, it was impressed on my mind that it's urgent, because since I watched that video, although it comes in and goes, I feel like there's kind of a push for me to share what I know, and I waited to actually be able to know what we want to do in this situation that would be beneficial for all involved. And today it was impressed in my heart, in my mind, to share. And this time, whilst I don't have every answer, I believe the Holy Spirit told me that He will allow me to speak, and He will help me speak and give advice that would help. Okay, also based on the things, my experiences and things I have seen and things I think about. All right, so please watch the video. It's about 10 minutes or 9 minutes long, and actually want to play all out because I think it's very important to hear the heart of the woman and also kind of allow you to digest and think about how about if it's you? Has that even happened to you? Because I know some parents have been bullied in school as well. Okay. And when you see situations like that where your child is being bullied, you don't even know what to do. So this video is going to be really good for everyone involved, so that we can all learn, and even those who are the bullies themselves, everyone can learn from it. All right, so I'll play the video and then I'll come back with my advice, and then there are other subsequent videos that follows as well, as I go ahead to analyze and advise on the topic. So yeah, go ahead and listen and watch for yourself. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and leave your comments below if you have any thoughts or even advice that you can give to a mother in this situation, particularly this woman that has brought the issue to the internet. And the only reason why she probably brought it into the internet, as she mentioned in the video, is that she has sought for legal help, but none is coming her way. Or from she doesn't think they're taking it serious. So let's listen and make the decisions for ourselves, and I will come back and share my thoughts and opinion. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Talkinsen. It's me, Ogechi. Welcome. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are listening to me from. As though I'm citing excited about this video is not necessarily something that is meant to be excitable about. So, I'm going to share some wisdom and advice with you. As you have seen, most of my videos nowadays are being based on advice given, and usually that's how my videos really go. There's a certain period where it's just advice, and then prayer. It's quite interesting that this period is usually the time I do focus so much, like honing on religious topics and prayer and things like that, especially this month of February and March. That's usually how I've seen it, and even April, and then June I started doing like lifestyle content and stuff like that. So, anyways, that has not been the way it has been for this period, because this period has been impressed on me to just advise. That's because I've been seeing many things I feel needs attention, and we all ought to pay attention to them so as to address them, resolve them where there are issues, and learn where there is a lesson to learn. So please go to my channel. I've done so many, like about 3 to 4 videos of different advising videos, and I think it would benefit you. The last one I did, I think, is very helpful and would help you as a parent, um, as of this video as well. So this video is also an advising video. In actually is stemming from some of the topics, the scenarios or the case studies that I mentioned in the previous video where I was advising parents, and I focused this on African parents who are newcomers to the country and whose children are either in primary school or in secondary school, on how to navigate the system and also ensure your child has the best experience, as well as you having an impact in that education system that your child is in. So this video is kind of I wouldn't say it's a continuation, but it is a way of reflecting back on that video, just based on the case studies and also pointing to other case studies that has um, motivated or inspired me to do the videos. For this particular video, I will play the videos that inspired this particular topic. I mentioned one of them in my previous video where I talked about the case of school children of the same school bullying one particular student. Okay, so the bullies were of the same school as their victim. I'm going to play that video for you to listen to and hear what happened and the narration, and see for yourself the seriousness of the case that I'm talking about, that it shouldn't be something to be ignored. And then I will come back to you and start sharing my advice. And that's because I feel if left unchecked for too long and seen as one of those things, it would not help in progressing the students, neither would it help, especially the victim. That's really where my focus is. Neither would it help in helping the parents that has cried out, or the parents who children has been affected. But in this case, the parent whose child was bullied and abused, physically abused and mentally being tortured as of current over the case. So this video is for this woman. If you know the woman, please, I beg you share this video. I tried the video, the person I watched it from, that's not the person that uploaded the video, and I couldn't find the woman's page, because I actually wanted to, I think it was sometime this week, I thought to just drop a message for her to say, oh, this is what you could do to help your child. But obviously I don't know the woman's handle. So this day, it was impressed on my mind that it's urgent, because since I watched that video, although it comes in and goes, I feel like there's kind of a push for me to share what I know, and I waited to actually be able to know what we want to do in this situation that would be beneficial for all involved. And today it was impressed in my heart, in my mind, to share. And this time, whilst I don't have every answer, I believe the Holy Spirit told me that He will allow me to speak, and He will help me speak and give advice that would help. Okay, also based on the things, my experiences and things I have seen and things I think about. All right, so please watch the video. It's about 10 minutes or 9 minutes long, and actually want to play all out because I think it's very important to hear the heart of the woman, and also kind of allow you to digest and think about, how about if it's you? Has that even happened to you? Because I know some parents have been bullied in school as well. Okay. And when you see situations like that where your child is being bullied, you don't even know what to do. So this video is going to be really good for everyone involved, so that we can all learn, and even those who are the bullies themselves, everyone can learn from it. All right, so I'll play the video and then I'll come back with my advice, and then there are other subsequent videos that follows as well, as I go ahead to analyze and advise on the topic. So yeah, go ahead and listen and watch for yourself. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and leave your comments below if you have any thoughts or even advice that you can give to a mother in this situation, particularly this woman that has brought the issue to the internet. And the only reason why she probably brought it into the internet, as she mentioned in the video, is that she has sought for legal help, but none is coming her way. Or from she doesn't think they're taking it serious. So let's listen and make the decisions for ourselves, and I will come back and share my thoughts and opinion.
Of child, I have come for justice. I have come to cry out for the public to help, because there is absolutely nothing I can do. I'm just an immigrant in this country, and I know things will want to be swept under the carpet. But I want to cry out to the general public to please come to my rescue. If you are a mother and you know the pains of childbirth, you know what it means to carry a child in your womb, labor and birth that child. In tragedy, in pain, we bring forth a child as women. I don't think any child deserves to go through what my child has been through in this country. Few weeks ago, my son went to school in Warsaw, Dallaston, St. Thomas More Catholic School, Dallaston. In the school, someone had told my son that some group of boys, they were planning to beat him by the close of the day. So my son was scared, and he went to the teacher I will not call the teacher's name here for the purpose of safeguarding. My son now went to the teacher and said, Miss, they said they want to beat me. Please, can you save me? That teacher did nothing, absolutely nothing to safeguard that child. At the end of the day, my son, that I was thinking that at least the teacher is supposed to put that child in isolation and call me, the mother, to say, okay, can you come and pick your child? They are planning to beat him, because my child normally walk home from school. He's 14 years, year 9. He normally walk home from school. I don't always pick him up because I go to work. I'm just alone with them, 3 children here in this country. So I go to work, and I normally work my contracted hours. So I don't have the whole of the time, because the children are grown. They can go to school and come back themselves. Now, the teacher did nothing to safeguard the child. I mean, how can a child come to you and cry that, please, can you protect me? As a teacher, you refuse to protect that child. He told you the names of the boys. You didn't do anything about it. You left, you forgot about the matter. You didn't tell anyone, you didn't raise any concern about the child. My son said when he was going for class, anytime he's going to class, there's a particular boy that normally slap him. So on that said day, the boy slapped him as he was going to class. On the video that I will play subsequently, that was the boy in front of that video. On that day, the boy slapped my son when they were going for 5th lesson at about 2 o'clock. So my son now again went to the teacher and said, Miss, this boy slapped me. The teacher didn't do anything about it. So after the close of the day, the teacher said that my son had detention, because that day they said he came late to that. In this country, if you come to school maybe some minutes late, they will ask you to serve detention. So, oh Jesus. So my son now that said he has to serve the detention for 30 minutes. Do you know that these boys, 4 boys, waited for my son for 30 minutes to come out from that detention? They waited for him on his way to school and beat him to stupor. I mean, how can 4 people lay ambush for a 14-year-old boy and beat him to stupor? They almost beat this boy to death. And my son told me in confidence that the one wearing white was holding a knife. So their plan was to kill the boy, to kill my child. Is this the good life I had come to this country to seek? Is this the good life I came to this place that I said I wanted for my children? Absolutely no. They beat my son that they broke his leg. When I came to pick him that day, oh, you need to see my son. His leg was broken. His nose was bleeding. His face was swollen. I broke down in tears. Being alone in this country without anybody, just taking care of these children, I wept bitterly seeing my child go through that pain. I asked the teacher, what has my child done to deserve this? What has this boy done to deserve this? No matter what. If it's 1-to-1, that one person or they are fighting 1-to-1, I would not even do anything. It is absolutely wrong for more than 4 people, or even 3, even 2, to beat one child. Why? Why the hate? Why the hate? Why the brutality? This is sad. This is really, really bad. As a mother, I am really, really pained. For those weeks now, my son has not been going to school. This boy does not sleep at night. When he sleeps, he shouts and said, they want to kill me. They want to kill me. They want to kill me. He's holding a knife. He's holding a knife. Mommy, come and save me. Mommy, come and save me. For how long will I continue to live in this pain? For heaven's sake, what is this? What is this? This child does not sleep at night. The child cries all through and said he doesn't want to go to that school anymore. St. Thomas More Catholic school in Dallas. What has my son done to you people? This boy has said he doesn't want to go to that school anymore. Now they are forcing him that he has to go to the school. Is it the school that they are now planning to kill him? They are laying ambush all over my house, waiting for him to come out. My son cannot come out of the house. He cannot come out again. If I tell him, JC, go to Tesco, go and buy something for me, he will tell me, Mommy, I'm scared. The boys are on the road. They are waiting for me. They said they will lay ambush to kill me. I cannot come out. Just because he has refused to join the group. He has refused to join the group. There's a particular group that, sorry about the call. There's a particular group that they have on WhatsApp. A group, I don't know the kind of group they have on WhatsApp. They put my son on the group. My son left. Leaving that group is the greatest mistake that my son said he made. That they are trailing him all over, everywhere, just to kill him. Especially the one on white on that video. My son cannot come out. He doesn't go to school again. He's at home. Please, I am calling for justice. I am seeking for help. I want the public to come to my rescue. I am begging now. There is nothing for me to do. Please, I have gone to police. They are taking this matter with light. They are not taking it seriously. Right now, they said they cannot do anything to the boys because the boy is a minor. If my son had died, would they have said that the boy is a minor? Of course, they will still say the boy is a minor. That's how they will kill my son and come and tell me that the boy is a minor. Please, please, I am begging. I am deeply pained. I am in pain. I am in pain. I am in shambles. All I came for is just a good life. I didn't know that one day I would face the camera to cry for justice. Please, I am begging everyone on this platform to help me. To help me so my son can have a free life. So my son can be able to come out of the house and move freely like a normal person. If I don't go with my son cannot come out again. Everywhere I have to accompany him. For how long? I have a life. I have other children. I have a job. I am begging. Please. Please help me.
God says never. Don't like this child. Hi guys. I hope you've been able to digest the video and also um had a view for yourself and make a decision. Um, I know it can be a bit distraughting, but don't want you to see that from that perspective only. I actually want you to see it as just as event as it is the emotive aspect of it, the judgmental aspect of it, any emotions that comes to you, just feel it, take from it. But then again, I want you to move on to the aspect of practicality. Why are you looking at details of these children? How many are there beating up one child? how what the narration of the mother's story is and all the things that she said. So now here is my own advice. Okay. So when this topic was broached in my heart to speak about, there were things that first thing that I thought to myself is, okay, let's start with what the woman said about the school. I want to start first of all address the school if we move on to the child. So the first thing she mentioned was the school's failure to safeguard her child, who reported to a teacher that he is going to be uh, gang beaten or bullied after school, as this has been allotted to him by one of his peers. Who I think that peer is a good peer if someone is able to alert you on what is going on, so as to take a decision for it. So I think the school should have done better, especially the teacher that was reported. It was reported to do the safeguarding consign. You know, even me that work with young people, if they say if they report anything to you, you should document it and raise it to your safeguarding lead. That's what she should have done. Okay, she said, okay, this is what she was doing. Even if she doesn't want, she could have just mentioned it. Even if she doesn't want to record it, okay, in terms of writing reports. I know sometimes those report writing can just put people off, but even if she doesn't want to write it, she can literally go and talk to her safeguarding lead in the school and say, this is what this particular young man told me, that he's been told, allowed that he will be physically beaten up after school by a group of peers, of his peers in school. And then it would have been to that safeguarding lead to think of the best ways to safeguard that child. So that's the first failure of that teacher and the school in that situation. So that's the first thing she should have done. It doesn't even matter which system you work in or which organization. This is the first thing you should do. Alert. That's what she should have done. Alert the safeguarding lead, either through report writing or you simply even verbal conversation. Because I'll tell you the truth, even with the littlest things people discuss in the staff room. So I don't understand why he never raised it up. At least have other staff members' thoughts on it if she doesn't want to go to her safeguarding lead. Okay? That's the first thing she'd have done. Unless, I mean, let me not talk on the dark side. But unless she, anyways, let me not say what I wanted to say. Okay. Anyway, anyways, that's the first thing any teacher should have done. And if you are a teacher in any school and this particular thing comes to you, just mention it to the safeguarding lead or even one of the posterior councils. It doesn't even matter. Just say it. It doesn't matter whether you believe it or not. Just say this is what this student have reported to me. Because remember, they are the ones who are with their peers. You are not. It doesn't matter even if you like the person they were talking about, or talking about, or doesn't like the person. Just report it. That's the first failure of the school coming from the teacher who whom the student reported to. So that's the first failure. Secondly, another way the school could have managed that, this is if it was in the case where the child uh, case was reported to the safeguarding lead, designated safeguarding lead, they call it DSL in school. The first thing that that person should have done, at least let me put up based on our own youth work practice, is that they could have had the child be escorted to a nearest bus stop. If he walks home, they can't walk home with the child. But in this situation, they could have called the parents, as the person told, and divide a solution. Okay, the solution could have been, okay, don't go home walking home like you usually do this time. Maybe get a bus this time to go home. If there's no bus that goes to her route, Sometimes this is where it's in extreme safe cases and safeguarding cases. Okay, sometimes I don't know if schools are permitted it, but in some schools they do have youth workers in school, and sometimes they don't. In some schools, not every school has youth workers or people that work with young people. There has been cases. This is me applying youth work practice, where, for example, if a parent doesn't pick a child up from school from a trip, and you is getting late and you can't wait any longer, they can have two staff members if they drive. If that's only if they drive, oh, this is in extreme rare cases, not always. They can what they can do is do a drop off to the child's house. Just drop the child to the house, okay? Or alternatively, take the child to a bus stop until she gets the bus and make sure that the person gets home safe. And that comes with calling, asking if like if the child doesn't have a phone, then that could be a little bit tricky to keep track of the child to know if she's fine, if he or she is fine. But if the child has a phone, it must just a case of keeping track, like, oh, how are you? Where are you? Now, there is another thing I saw. I thought it would have been a good practice for the school again to have done is first of all, the mom make sure they call her and explain to her that this is what your child reported and this is the action that we have chosen to take, and have that discussion with the parent and say what is the best action you want us to take. These are the options that our school offers, and this is what we can explore. So if it's a case of, okay, I'll come and pick my child up as I don't want my child to be bullied or be beaten up after school, then it's a case of allowing the child to wait till the parents come. And I know in UK, this is what I keep telling people, please, on no account do you think that if there is a particular reasonable reason that you have to, let's say, disobey the law or policy in your workplace and go for something that is of an emergency, you cannot do that. Let's say, for example, someone is dying in the hospital and you can't, what's it called? You have to be there, let's say a loved one or something like that. Depending on how your, what's it called? How your organization is, any well effective organization, some has to know how to make provisions for emergencies. Okay, so even if you work in care job, it may be a case where, okay, listen, this is what I've had happen to my child. As I mentioned, doesn't mean it will always be granted, but it's not a bad thing to explore first. Okay, for example, when people say, oh, I have my grandmother who is in hospital and dying, and da, and they say maybe today or tomorrow, like any day, is it okay for if an emergency comes, I can just pop out to just go and see this person? You can do that. You can take emergencies like immediate leave. I've seen it happen in my workplace, and I've seen it happen in other people's lives. Why can't you take emergency leave? I will tell you, even my own emergency leave, I had to go home early. Why? I had a wardrobe malfunction. I'm going home. I called my supervisor. I was like, listen, I had a wardrobe malfunction. I don't think I'm going to come back to the office. I'm going. I'm just telling you, I think one time when you guys live in nations like this, you think you're, I know when you're new, I understand that she's new. That's why I say I'm always very empathizing with people who are new because just like them, I didn't know any of these benefits and the things that comes with living in a place. I went home. I didn't come back to work that day. I came back the next day. I asked for the permission, right? So you can always ask for permission where emergency situation. And when I mean my wardrobe, it was my wardrobe malfunction, and I literally my only saving grace is because at sometimes I dress very decent usually, so that was my saving grace. Okay, so please, some things like that can be asked help from. Okay, please, I want you to note this. You could actually come out of workplace and say, listen, I'm just going to pick my child up. That's depending on how far your workplace is. If it's too far, then obviously it would make sense. Maybe a case of taking the rest of the day off. Okay, but as I mentioned, it may come under something against you if it's a case you're going to leave the workplace. with no one else there to support. Okay. I mean, I wouldn't tell you the things I had to do for myself, but that's all comes with knowing what I want, know what my boundaries and things are like, and then implementing them if need be. I never take anything for granted. I'm not saying just say things just because you want to say it, but I'm just telling you in this UK, please don't see them as monsters. Don't see them as, oh, anything I do, they'll take my job. I know some employers are like that, but wherever you find yourself, like in a environment, always try to see the benefits that other clients get. In my book, like if I look at my colleagues and they're getting these benefits of things like that, why wouldn't I explore it? Like, do I think I'm different? Hell no. I don't think so. So do this, but this kind of benefits also comes with relationship. This is why I'm asking you to build relationship as well within your workspace, where it's like, okay, listen, I've seen it. People take out my child is very ill, and I think he's got that the school called. Especially if you tell them the school called and things like that happen, you go and pick up your child. The safety of your child is important. So this is what I said. Maybe it's a case of, okay, you wait, let them wait with you. I'll come and pick the child up. Okay, that could have been something that could simply be avoided. What's it called? Could have happened if the school did their due diligence in ensuring they allowed the parents on what the child have said, follow the proper safeguarding control. Okay, and also another option they could have done is a case of, all right, depending on investigating it to see how serious this was. It wasn't a case of just one person reporting. Even investigating by talking to the person that reported the issue to the student that was bullied. Okay. And then finding out from the peers of the school what is happening. I know some of them may lie. And then ensuring that they issue some sort of warning, like if you do this, if we hear this comes back on us and things like that, this is the consequences to your action. Because guess what? It doesn't even matter if you are inside of school or outside of school. The fact that you are still representing us as a school, because guess what? These people were still in their school uniform. This is where they should have been. Is it impeded or like implicated? They should still be implicated by the school. I don't care if it happened outside of school. If that school chooses to close a blind eye, then it only shows where they stand, okay, and who they stand with, and it shows you the type of school it is. I keep telling young people, as long as you are still in that school uniform, you are representing them regardless. Okay, you are still representing them. So in situations like that, this is what should have happened. And where is this an extreme case? If they investigate and they say it's true, I don't think it's a bad thing to even alert the police, even the local ones. The community, they have community police here who can sometimes come in. I don't know what they can do, but they can maybe come in and just see what is going on. And that's of this is all part of is it I've forgotten the language to use. Deterring, okay, what could possibly take place. So this is where I felt the school system failed heavily on this particular young person from a safeguarding perspective. So that is the first thing I wanted to address: the school system and this teacher and whoever that it was reported to and their failure to do so. Yeah, that's a or you even if you do not want to, the student should not be going to a safeguarding need to report the situation. But where is a case like I don't want to do anything about it, then tell the student to go and report it to Mrs. Who and who is the safeguarding leader of the school. I'm telling you, just that's really where the school system failed heavily for this particular child. And then let's come to the child that was bullied. Before I go to the child that bullied the child. So I believe that he's already been reporting to her mom, to his mother, sorry, that this particular young man has been taunting and tormenting him in school already by slapping him whenever he goes past him. So imagine then that will cause what emotional. It's already the bullying is already taking place, but not in a massive way, right? So that in itself will take some sort of emotional toll on the person. So there's a psychological and emotional abuse or physical abuse already occurring. Because if every single time you see this particular students, you walk past and he's and no one, maybe it's not that no one sees. I believe that people see, his friends probably see and giggle about it and stuff like that. That's already taking an emotional toll on you, and you don't understand why he's always doing that. So that in itself is something that you could, this mother could have started reporting to the school. Okay, so that's another thing. I'll say the mother's own I wouldn't say failure, but maybe lack of knowledge of what she could do. Okay, because as I mentioned, you always have to take this position as an immigrant. She says she's still new in the country, so you yourself, when you're new to any place, you wouldn't always know what to do. So that's the part of the empathizing that I want you to also focus on. The empathizing points I want you to also focus on. So that's what she should have done. Called up the school and say, "Listen, this is what my son told me. Please, can you look into it? As I don't want my son to be slapped every single time he goes into school and walk past this particular young man." And best, well, this particular young man, you can tell, is already a leader of his group of friends or group of whatever they are. Okay, as I mentioned, there is only two type of people that are in school. Sometimes this type of people are often a part of a more a bigger dangerous group. Okay, so this is something that has to be put in mind. So that is what I said, that the mother should have contacted the school once the son start reporting. Please, if you're an immigrant parent listening to this, I think you do a very disservice if you do not watch my previous video talking about advising African parents, okay, of whose children are in school. You will do yourself a great disservice because you can't really blame anyone. As my book, if I finish giving this advice and you choose to not to take it, it's really up to you. I can't, like, you can't really blame too many people. I'm helping you to learn how to navigate into this system as someone that has gone through it. I don't say I'm have the best advice because more people probably had multiple experiences. But guess what? No one has come to tell you about it. Has they or advise you about it? No. At least in the way I'm doing it. So I would say, listen and take this heed to this advice. Report it to the school and tell them, let them be having record of what is going on. So that when such big incident happened, it wasn't a case of, oh, this just came up on us. Because that's what they would do. They say, we never had an idea that these people were having this thing. They will do everything to defend themselves. The school will do everything to defend themselves, okay, and protect their name. That's how it goes with any organization, anyways. So basically, they'll be like, "Well, I didn't know what was going on. We didn't." Like literally, you would even encourage your son to, whenever the student does that, report it to school, its teacher, and then to have the student tell you the teacher's name every single time, whoever that they reported it to, because if the case was vice versa, that's what would have happened, right? So it's very important that that takes place so that once this issue comes up, I wouldn't be surprised if the school would be like, we never had any knowledge that, let's say, I don't know what name we could give them now. The one that was bullied and the one that bullied with his group were ever having any issues in school. They maybe say they've always gotten along. I see them chatting, da 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 da. You don't know, maybe the chat was just a girl, the man, the bullied one just not wanting problem, kind of thing for yourself. You may think, oh, I don't want issues in this UK, but then see what it resulted. My dear, sometimes where you don't want issues, and the issues is presenting themselves to you. My dear, follow the issue and see it to the end. So as to do something about it if cases like this arises. Sometimes it doesn't arise to this occasion where there is a general gang bullying. And then another thing I would say is for the child. That's I think I can really tell he doesn't really have confidence in himself. So this is why I say sometimes it's good to be a talkative, It's good to be someone that just is loud. I don't care what you think about it. Sometimes it's good because that aspect of outgoingness can be a sort of protectiveness for you. Because extroverts has the and introverts has their positives and negatives. But I'm telling you, sometimes your personality can become your defense mechanism. Okay. And the reason why I say that is like sometimes it will not even be a bad thing to ask the person what is going on. I'll tell you the reason why. And I'm using myself, I'm always vulnerable to you guys. And I don't care what people think because now I've learned, like, I've moved on in my life. I'm always vulnerable. And I will share my own experience with you. So when I came into the UK, I had a student as well who was it good? Who had issues with me in my way of behaving towards her. I didn't know she had issue. And then what happened was that her friend, I remember like her friend came to me and asked me this question. She said, "Why are you always doing this to so?" I was like, "Hi, I was just playing, you know. I was joking." I was like, "Did you take offense with it?" She said to me, she nodded. I was like, you should have told me because she was from the same country as me. So I was always calling her sister. I was like, sister, this and that in my own joking way. I was like, I was like, but you're my teacher because I had the, oh gosh, this is sometimes that's why I say it's good to do this with Nigerian mentality because I realize children here are not brought up in the same mentality. So I was quite honestly, I wouldn't even lie. I think even thinking about it now, looking at my emotion, I was a bit taken back and even distraught that she couldn't tell me about the thing. But she had friends who were outspoken. More, it's not like she wasn't outspoken, but there's something called having friends who are more outspoken and they are more confident. And they were the ones who asked me. Now I think we were in a class. They said, "Why are you always doing that?" Because it's not a case of this is like it's. Let me not say the behavior is just general. It's not just to her, but to anyone at the time. But I didn't realize she took issue with the behavior. And you know, funny enough, my sisters has been correcting me about that behavior. Let's say, if, for example, it's a case of where, like, when you're laughing, you slap someone. So sorry, I'm just using that as an example. Although, so I didn't know, my sisters literally what they do used to do just slap me right back on there. So I mean, I was fine with it, right? But note that not everyone is fine with things like that. So I was like, but you should. I literally looked at her. I was like, but you should have told me. I think then she realized this was never meant from an ill intent. It was just me of like acknowledging her and playing with her and having like my own. I was like, I always say, so I had to lose that word, my sister. I beg you. I had to lose it. It was the time. It's the time you have to learn how the nations that you are in. So not everyone takes the same behavior as the same way. So in that situation, this is why I say that outgoingness is very important. Where you ask like, "What's your problem?" Obviously, in a while, literally, I mean, the friend is just like, "Oh, but what you always doing?" And that, and everyone they also laugh. They don't. It wasn't a case of, I don't even know how to describe it. But the fact that the person that you're doing it to is no longer finding it funny is important to pay attention to that. And I remember when they say sometimes a joke stop becoming a joke when the person that you're joking with is no longer finding it funny. Okay, so in that situation, I'm advising them that it would not be a bad thing where it's before the build because this is called the build up, right? Let's say if this was the case, what you were experiencing, if you're a loner in your school, right? Don't be afraid to ask in the group of classroom. I don't care for safety purposes and also for people to know record of what happened, right? I'm sorry. You say like, "Oh, why are you always doing this?" I literally, it's a question. Which one? I mean, it's up to the person if the person wants to answer or not. Because here's two things you do understand. Is put the person in perspective. Attention goes up the person. Maybe the person recognizes what they're doing, right? And but in this situation, slapping someone is not it's not a fun thing. And you can tell the emotional reaction of that person, right? It's not the thing. Slapping every single time the person you see the person is that's just you're already doing the abuse already. That's not what case I'm talking about. I'm just saying it can be a way to de-escalate or deter the situation. It would have been even possible for the child to just ask, "Why are you always doing this?" This is why I say it's not only that the person that recognizes what they are doing, sometimes how they react can be anywhere, to be honest. They can be react positively to it where they recognize their behavior and say, okay, okay, I'm sorry, blah blah blah. Other times they could be other way, they multiply their behavior. And sometimes some people, when they can't handle shame, which I think is the case of this particular boy that bullied him, can then assert a different tactic, right? And evilness to it. So I'm just saying, please, it's not a bad thing to ask. Okay. I'm just, perhaps I'm looking at it from my own perspective now, that I like to be asked. Sometimes if I'm doing, I'm like, ask me what happened. Ask me. Don't just make assumptions sometimes. Ask me. And I'm also learning to do the same. I mean, I'll do that simple to people, to be honest, but like I'll like, for sometimes it's just best to report and then ask first. Just in any way, just make the person aware that you are not happy with what they have done. And I'm very good at making you aware that I'm not happy with what you've done against me. Okay? All right? It's not a bad thing. Make the person very aware. Okay? It's not even a bad thing to, like, I mean, because it's a boy case, you may not think it's possible. But me, my book, I boo hoo cry, man. Cry. Like, they slap you, so you start crying, and then the whole school will know it. Thank you. I don't care. That's my do you know? So basically learn to defend yourself in whatever way you can. I know many people cannot fight with hand, but they have the amount to fight. Anywhere that is your biggest way of self-defense. As I mentioned, this advice is pertaining to the boy. Take it. If your mouth is your thing, some people will use intelligence and finish you off. In that way, not only you put the person in a place of like, listen, I know how to use my mouth and words. Like you can use words to deter people, you know. So if you can't use hand, if your thing is not about fighting, use whatever weapon you have. And that's so funny. I find this particular this person also described her own experience. Another person, I will come to her story later, but it's kind of similar to this particular story where she talked about her own bullying experience and what took place. And then I also gave a little bit of advice to any parent that may have had a child um experience the situation that she experienced. Anyways, going back to this story. So, this particular person that is bullied, I would say learn to defend yourself. The self defense is not always doing karate. Self defense is mind first, mouth, okay? And the way your behavior, the way you carry yourself can also be a form of self defense. And it's so important to make friends in school. This is why I say you're sometimes your friends, even if I don't care what year group they are, just having a place of refuge. Yeah. Can itself provide a form of barrier over you. Okay, obviously you have friends who are people are much better than you if possible, but you can, I mean, I've already said that anyways, in another video I did, which I'll upload later. So that's really my advice to any person. This is a young person. Learn to defend yourself by building your confidence. The confidence can be found in anything that you are good at. If let's say, for example, you are good at in any subject in your school, be the best at it. That way, people will learn to recognize you, respect you. This is how you build some confidence and social relationship. I'm telling you, I'm giving you this tip, yeah, anyone that wants to listen, right? Secondly, another way of building self confidence is in investing in your own, not just your knowledge, but investing in your own outward appearance. I know. As a student, all of us can look anyhow. My dear, I wouldn't tell you I was 100% looking good at all. Lie, lie, till lie, lie. I wasn't. I was. I could be anything, but one thing was for sure. Okay, she always look good coming to school. Whether she go home looking good is another question. Majority of the time. And doesn't matter what my background is, like literally, at least I try to put my best foot forward. That's what I'm saying. Okay. And perhaps different from you, I often had friends in school. So it was a case of ensuring that you have social relationship with those people, with your peers. That really does help. And with peers who will help you. And you know, this is why I say in my previous video that you as an immigrant or a newcomer here, or even as an African parent that is still here, the reason why I'm pertaining the video is because these other people did not cross 7 seas and 7 rivers to come to this country. I'm sorry, you have made too much sacrifices to have your child being taken out of a place. Well, especially most of these sacrifices are all for your children. You did not, they did not do that. You are the one who did it. So take every possible opportunity to ensure that you are focused on what your goal is and build relationship where possible. And the reason why I say so is because, in the previous video I say don't make friends with parents of school, parents of children in the same school who you feel comfortable and happy being friends with. Get to know them a little bit. In the same way, in Nigeria, sometimes when you say that your neighbor and yourself are going to the same school, and your neighbor's child and your child is going to the same school, you say, "Oh, please, maybe I can't drop off my child today. Please, can you help me drop off this person?" Is it not based on the relationship you build with the person that you're able to say, "My child, go with this person"? Those favors, you think is just like anyhow? So that's why when you're able to know a parent or something like that, when there are issues that happen, it's not even a bad thing, right? They can even say to you, "Oh yeah, I'll drop the person off into school today, or I'll let these two people come back from school." Do you understand? They can even work with their peer. If they used to work on their home alone, that time they can work with their peer. That in itself can act as a form of deterrence, right? That's a word. To any form of issues like this that could happen. Bullies thrive where someone is isolated. I mean, especially when they know the people don't like that person, or when they know the person doesn't have people to defend them. That's where they thrive. So when you understand these things, it will really help you. And so that's my advice for the child. I've already advised the parent. Another thing I would say, if you actually, before I even move on, if you are looking for a place that will help your child move, and watch my previous video. I'm sorry, I'm not even going to kind of reiterate everything said there. I say anyone is doing this if you don't watch it. There are different ways you can help your child integrate into the nation, make friends, build their confidence and stuff like that. And then one of the ways I even mentioned is, I have a program called My Friend Group. It's online and it's also in person. They also get to meet in person. So enroll your child is something I'm promoting, getting more people in, trying to get people in as well. Um, yeah, it's My Friend Group. So go ahead and um, call up the number on the screen or in the description box below, and yeah, register your child for this type of program, because the advice I'm giving to you here, whilst it's free, having that one-to-one support and group support that comes with having friendship that is pure and core to the bone, where this type of things do not happen. Trust me, it will do you a very good service to do so. Anyways, I will put this link below. It's a youth and well-being group that helps cultivate positivity, friendship, confidence, promoting better mental health and stuff like that. And talking about youth issues and the issues that they have. And it's for young people in between 14 to sorry, 9 sorry, 8 to 14. And although the particular child in this situation is 15 years old, I'm still open to anyone that is 15 years. But as I mentioned, it doesn't have to be just this group. It could be any other group. I'm just telling you the one that will benefit your child the most. Okay? Because not every group that will give you this form of open advice. I'm telling you, I've been to different youth group. They also watch their mouth on what they say. They will not even be that deep with the advice with you, but I'm giving it to you now. So imagine then if the child is part of the group that I'm creating, what do you think will happen? So they'll get the best of the both worlds. Anyways, let's move on to the child that bullied the child. So the one that had the leader of the gang group. Um, my thing to the any parent of this child is that this child did not start this behavior now. It is a thing that he's always done. But I feel like the only part I want to address to this particular person is pride. I feel there is a whole lot of pride when I watched that video, that I don't know, I just what I sensed from that person. I felt a sense of like his ego. He was just trying to show his ego. That's what I felt. That's what, like, yeah, when I watched it, I was like, I just saw someone that is trying to prove himself. I saw someone that is trying to show that he's the top dog. Saw someone that is trying to show that you don't mess with me, and this is what will happen to you. Um, and this, and even saw someone that maybe, if I may say, maybe comes from a family background where this is promoted and not frowned upon. So you may not know any better. You may not know any better. So here is my advice to you, and I'm not addressing to your other friends that joined in the gang beating because my only thoughts zoomed in on you, not even the other ones. Because I felt like you being the ringleader of that group, there is more to the story than just what you did. So the first thing is that you've already been tormenting the boy throughout school. Now, I don't know the reason why you picked him up. Maybe because he's new, he doesn't look like you, he's still trying to figure out his life. He doesn't look as what you think he is. Another alternative is that perhaps you recognize him in you. That could be something. And sometimes people don't like recognizing them in people that they don't see as other people don't see as a big thing or big, uh, I don't know, like a leader or something or whatever it is. And then the fact that you went ahead to add him to a group, WhatsApp group that he choose not to go into and don't want to be part of, and then because of that you decided to beat him up. Again, it showed your own less, also lack of confidence in who you are and what you are. And the reason why I say this is because there is no reason why if someone choose not to be part of a group, you get annoyed, and to the extent of you can get annoyed. It's fine to get annoyed, but to the extent of organizing a gang up beating against this particular young person is outrageous, and uncalled for, and in itself, I would say evil to its best. So, in this situation, ask yourself, what are you dealing with? Okay, to this to this extent that you had to do this, what emotions are you dealing with? Perhaps you have been what's the word, it's not incited, is it, like they say gingering someone up or persuaded to like show like, oh, you can't mess with me type of thing. That is your just part of peer pressure. Okay, it would have been, I'll tell you what a top dog would have done. I think it would have been the case of, okay, you went ahead to find this guy's number. Okay, I would not even be surprised that he didn't give it to you, you got it from somewhere else or something like that. I would not be surprised even if he gave it to you, perhaps under duress, which you may not know. So in this situation, what you did or what you should have done is actually ask first, okay? Because not everyone likes to be part of a group, okay? Ask first. I want you to add you to a group? Do you want to be part of our group? Let the person make their decision. Okay, I explain what the group is about and let the person make their decision. And if they choose to be allowed into the group and even later leave, it's still their choice. This is called free will. You as a child has a free will, so does the child that you bullied. They have a free will to make a decision for themselves. So there was no reason why you should even have him in the group if he doesn't want to be part of the group. Because guess what? When someone doesn't want to be part of a group and you add the person to the group, the person can even be the person that can share what happens in your group to other people. Right? So it's important that you understand this. It's not it's not that serious unless you're doing it for a different purpose. I don't know. But I'm just saying, for the sake of simplicity of adding people to group, you usually used to ask for their permission or allow them to know that you're adding to the group. And even if you add them with their permission, you can just say, hey, I added you because of so and so. I thought you were going to be so and so. Because the reason why I said I haven't added to a group I didn't want to belong to, guess what? I took myself out of it. Nothing happened. That's what should have happened. Nothing should have happened. It's just a case of I add you if you want to be part of it or not. No. So they have the right to do add or not be added. Now, even talking about right for the child that was even added, if you want, please make sure that you put your thing on ask for permission before you ask me to the group. WhatsApp has that. Now, yeah, I don't know if the group is on WhatsApp or any other place, but some features of that type of app ask for permission. Some of them do. You can turn that on so that just to avoid issues, and they can send you invites. And if you don't want to be invited, you just ignore it. Okay, so please note it. There is no reason why someone should be gang bullied like that. It's not fair. It's not cool. I say, imagine that is you. You may think it will never be me. That's because you have fallen into the trap of doing any and everything just to fit in. Some of you guys have, okay, just to fit in, following whatever advice and things the person that you fear says. I know there is different ways of surviving in school, and that could be your own way of surviving. Okay. However, please be respectful of other people's decision. That in itself comes with maturity. It shows that not only you are mature, it also shows that you are someone that is considerate. Okay. And even will make your group even more attractive if need be. Because then it shows that people like, okay, this person knows what he's talking about. He's happy with who he is. And shows some of confidence. Okay, so that's my own advice to you. Please, pretty please, do not do this again. And I think you should go ahead to apologize to this particular young man. I don't care how you do it. You should apologize to him. And apologizing doesn't solve the problem. You need to, something called reprobate. That means trying to correct the wrong that you've done. Okay, there are different videos I'll put along in this particular series where it shows you what it looks like to hurt someone, to recognize you're wrong, and to apologize, and then to do reprobate. Reprobate is trying to put things back right to the best ability of yours. Doesn't take away the hurt, it doesn't take away the issue, but that's what it should be.
Of course. Brief me or Dinobi. Which one? Jesus. You lied to everyone in school about your parents.
Just go.
But you're not listening to me. You lied to everyone in school about your background. You lied about your parents, even your name. You're so despicable. Everything about you just
Don't
changed.
talk to my cousin like that. Cheers, I'll just go to school, please. I'll meet you at school. Just go. Daisy,
Don't touch me.
Daisy, please, you can't tell any single student at school, please. I'm begging you, please.
You lied about everything to us, to everyone in school.
Daisy, please, I'm begging you.
Just shut up.
Please.
Shut up. You said your mom is a big politician. Isn't that what you said to us? Yes? Good. But your mom is what? A commoner that has no name attached to her.
Daisy, please, I'm begging you. Please, you can't mention this to anybody at school.
Sharon left school because of the way you bullied her. Why? Because she's poor, isn't it?
Daisy, but I was only following your orders now. That was what you told me to do.
Amara, then you joined us in bullying Amara because she has no name attached to her, because she's poor. She's coming from a very poor background. But meanwhile, you are as wretched as anyone can ever be. Please trust me, when I get to school, I will make sure to touch me!
Please, I'm begging. You can't tell anyone, please. Please, I'm begging you.
I will make sure I'll tell everyone in school where you come from. Your mom is a commoner, she's a cleaner in school, and she has no name attached to her.
Please.
That's the thing here.
Please, I'm your friend. Please, I'm begging you, please.
If you were my friend, you would have been very much honest with me. But you lied about your name. You lied about your parents. You lied about your... What else are you lying about then?
Please, Daisy, please. Please, you can't tell anybody, please.
And if there are consequences to be served, it doesn't take that away either. Because it's one thing I know, if you're, whether you're a Bible believer or not, is that whatever situation, even the Lord tells you, it doesn't matter if you say sorry, the sentence needs to be served because the thing has been committed. Okay? There's some mercy over judgment doesn't mean that you ignore the situation. It means that God is a disciplinarian. He still disciplines you so that you learn from your experience. Okay? And not to repeat that.
I owe you an apology. I shouldn't have manipulated you into lying against your own mother. I still went on to get you to reveal your secret to the whole class. I'm so sorry. I hurt you so bad. I shouldn't have done that.
It's okay, Daisy. Well, thanks to that, I finally came clean.
Even at that though, I shouldn't have judged you in any way. But the issues at home, it makes me a different person. It just frustrates me with my parents and the issues they keep.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
I forgive you. So, this is my house.
It's very beautiful. Cora, yes?
Yeah, it is.
Very pretty.
I know you're just saying it to make me feel better.
Come on. No, come on, don't say that.
You guys want to come in?
Nah, next time.
Yeah.
I have a date.
A date?
With who?
With Lincoln. We made up.
Oh, I'm so happy for you, Cora.
Thank you so much.
So happy for you.
Happy for you. Thank you. All right, I'm going now. All right.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
You have a very beautiful house.
Bye-bye.
Hi.
Please, you guys are all in the same year. You guys are all trying to get to know each other. Now, there's videos I put up. I'm like, this is what you're trying to do. People like you or you are trying to do to other students who you bully in this way. And what is the whole thing about having to wait for the person in front of their house so that they don't come out? What's that about? You've already done the physical trauma. You want to continue on adding to the trauma and continue with the psychological bullying, whether you or your group of friends. That makes no sense. That is not fair. That is not nice. Okay? If you're still doing that, stop it. I will tell you this, especially as Black people in the nations of the Western world. My dear, it's too costly for you people to be doing these type of things to each other. It's too costly, not just costly to life, but costly to the life in future, costly to your parents, costly to everyone involved. And I would say, even as that person is, I know the child is coming from an African background based on his mom, okay? You also have parents that have migrated into this nation for different routes. So would you let the sacrifices that your parents made, even if your parents is born here for how many generations that is, but whether their grandma or great grandma came from somewhere that is not here, would you let those sacrifices go to waste? The fight they fought, it wasn't for you to fight with your other fellow Black people out of nonsensical reasons like this. It's not a fight for you to kill each other. It's not a fight for you to do any of those things. The reason why I even say it's way too costly, I keep saying it, you people cannot be affording to making stupid mistakes in school. I'm not saying don't do things as child as you can be. You are a child, by the way. But use your senses. It's too costly. You don't have enough graduates to make an impact in school. You don't have enough graduates. And I say this to every Black girl and Black guy that listens to me. It's too costly to be putting your fellow Black students in situations like this. It doesn't matter what they do. There are other ways to solve issues. But this kind of gang bullying can put people away for good from education. And what are you missing? You may be missing your next doctor. You may be missing your next nurse. You may be missing your next tech just because of fear of going to school and being educated. These opportunities are missed. No one else, no race can do this for you. No race can do this for you. You have to do it for yourself.
A big day for the woman who put Gorilla Glue in her hair.
The woman who superglued her hair is in a lot better shape today. Here's Tessica Brown. No more rock hard glue.
I mean, that's got to make you feel good, right?
It makes me feel awesome. Awesome.
The 40-year-old mom of 5 earned national notoriety for using Gorilla Glue spray after running out of hairspray. Yep, the same Gorilla Glue from those wacky commercials.
Gorilla Spray adhesive for the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
Bad idea. Yo, look, my hair, it don't move.
Tessica tried washing it out with oils and shampoo and even went to the emergency room, but nothing worked until Beverly Hills plastic surgeon Michael Obang offered to help. Tessica flew from her home in Louisiana to Los Angeles. How are you holding up, Tessica? Where she got a COVID test before undergoing a procedure to dissolve the glue using a concoction of medical-grade adhesive remover, aloe vera, olive oil, and acetone. The process took 4 hours, and you can see the hair coming undone.
Okay, that's it. Tessica, you did great.
Look how easily the comb glides through the hair. What do you see when you look in that mirror?
Tessica.
You see Tessica?
Tessica. Not the, other person. This is me.
All the complaining that you see your parents complain, whether they are in childbirth and they're saying, oh, we are not taken care of well by these particular nurses of other races, or they don't understand our situations, oh, they don't do this, or you go to doctors and they don't undiagnose your situations well, or you go to law, what's it called, you have a legal issue and the only people that could represent you there is people of other race. Sometimes, if I may even put it down to this, because of some of the experiences that people have had in their earlier lives, where they have not been allowed to be educated or feel comfortable and free being educated, just like their fellow mates or other race. It's too costly. You don't have enough doctors, you don't have enough anything in the system to support you. Therefore, you have to depend on others to support you. What's this nonsense? It's too costly. Their parents made sacrifices for their children to come to this country. Because of perhaps the nations they are in is not helping in terms of the government. They work too hard. Some parents work multiple jobs to feed their children. Your parents probably do the same thing. It's too costly for you to be discarding like this. It's too costly for you to be putting people in these things. If no one else can advise you guys, I will say to you, it's too costly. I keep saying, why do you stand and blame other races who have more people in the system who have gone through the process of education or anything else that has been gone through? Other people can misbehave. Guess what? If they get into trouble, who is going to be their lawyer? Is it you? No. Majority of the time, the judge will be one of theirs. So you against them. This is why most of you are put into incarceration. What is this nonsense? Majority of you people are in prison, wasting your life away. Who is the one guarding you? Them. Gain some brain into your head. It's too costly. The price has been paid by your generations before us. They don't want to be paying the same price just for you to waste their blood on what? Killing each other, bullying each other unnecessarily like this. I even say this because I was watching a video of a particular black guy who is a medical doctor who, having studied, found a bias on or race disparity, especially towards the black people on some medical device that monitors, I think, pulse or stuff like that, that could help diagnose is it cancer or some sort of treatment early so that they can receive the same thing. Do you know? He said that the black people, they sometimes, because of the way our body performs and the things that is we are made up of, sometimes it doesn't pick up those readings quickly, and then it means that what people are diagnosed late, and then people die of things that they could have been prevented. But because of his research and finding, he didn't have to develop anything and find findings. He was able to help another family who were waiting for their diagnosis and treatment, which was maybe scheduled years later. He, because of his thoughts, his behavior, his thinking, his research, this was brought into a space where it was studied by another doctor who actually had to redo it because what he helped another black family who were experiencing these things to recognize that maybe we can check this thing out, and guess what, the person is able to receive their treatment early. It's too costly. Use your brain. When you are doing some things, you can misbehave. I see it in school. I see other race when they misbehave and how they misbehave. It's like your own misbehavior is almost like a blockhead. You can misbehave. That is normal in school. You're still a child. But where free education has been offered to you based on the system and governmental situation that you find yourself in, it's too costly. People travel every part of the world to come to these nations that offer free education for their children to be educated. Do you know how much it costs to pay for your school fees? If you want, ask people that go to private schools on what it costs to train a child in school by the government. It's too costly. There's too many of you in environments that are not promoting or helping anybody. You are the one who's been arrested. You are the one who's been incarcerated. You are the one. Would you, all of you, especially the guys, I'm really speaking to you as black men and black boys, will majority of you only be in prison? Look at US prison. Look at UK prison. And then when people are fighting, look at even the black what's that one that George Floyd? Who were the people that fought for them? The women. Should you women when the black women be always fighting for you guys? Why can't you fight for yourself? Why? Because you are not in the position to fight for yourself. It's too costly. You have the price hasn't paid. But it's almost like you're telling your ancestors who shed blood, sacrifices, that their blood is in waste. And I have to take it that serious because even in the nation that you are in, see how they honor their ancestors. No matter what you say to them or whether it's about slavery or anything else, see how they speak about their ancestors. And you stood there being stupid, thinking you're being foolish with them. When all the chips fall down, you are the one who's still impeded. My dear, you're not in a nation that is your homeland. I say sometimes some things you can get away with when you're in a nation in your own hand for you to rebuild. But when you're in another nation that is not your homeland, it's difficult to rebuild. I know people that are in their home nation, maybe they have gone to prison, doing anything. Multiple of them are doing well with their life. But here, it's difficult to rebuild in that way. Not everyone does get away with it. And it's in your record forever. Some people don't, like in their homeland, it's never even in their record. Anyways, these are all my advice. Please, there are other examples I will put up. People who are creating things to help not just for the black race but also help everyone else. Allow them. If you don't want to be educated or you don't want to, even if you don't find education systems difficult, allow those who are able to do it. Because you never know if that person is the person that will be the person standing for you in the court case. If any situation happen, it may be the person that will be curing your grandfather, person that will find the disease or anything that will help your generation.
Nigerian American Divine Osuji created the muscle sensor controlled prosthetic and the computer vision-based prosthetic. Osuji was crowned as the 2025 National STEM Champion at the 75th Annual Chicago Public Schools Science Fair and Exhibition. The young inventor was inspired by industrial workers and his grandparents' struggles with exorbitant prosthetic costs, sometimes exceeding $100,000. His two prototypes, one using a muscle sensor-controlled model, detected contractions to move the prosthetic hand, but inconsistencies pushed him to refine his approach. Undeterred, Osuji engineered a second iteration powered by computer vision, using a webcam to track the motion of a functional hand and replicate its movements in real time. Both models, crafted with 3D printing and gecko-inspired adhesion technology for enhanced grip. Divine Osuji, nurtured by family debates over math homework and STEM mentors. The young scientist, now studying at University of Michigan College of Engineering, with aspirations in biomedical engineering. Nigerian-American Tobechukwu Toby Phillips is the young lady who made history as the first black valedictorian of Alvin High School in Texas in the school's 125-year history, achieving an unprecedented 6.9 GPA on a 4.0 scale. Tobechukwu Phillips, who graduated at just 14 years old, epitomizes resilience and excellence, having consistently earned straight A's throughout her high school years. Toby's journey from Nigeria to Texas showcases her ability to embrace her unique multicultural background, becoming a beacon of inspiration for her peers. Beyond academics, she serves as a Sunday school teacher and holds various leadership roles, including president of the National Honor Society. Toby's achievements had garnered her the prestigious full-ride 40-acre scholarship to the University of Texas at Austin, where she aims to become a pediatric nurse practitioner.
I repeat it once again. It's too costly for you to be doing stupidity like this in school. And I don't say stupidity out of making light of the situation, but I say stupidity in that you are not thinking. You are not using your brain. You are only thinking of you, yourself, and I. As I mentioned, I understand you guys are children. Things like this would happen. But there's levels to bullying. This one where you are now putting trauma on the person that can't come out for what? The mom said she can't even come out to go for grocery and stuff like that. Of what good will it do to you? It's not like the person insulted you or do anything. Say, oh, you don't do this to me. It's just human being wanted to make an independent decision for himself. Now, let me even give you this particular, just in case you may not understand it, but I'll explain it. I heard someone say this is another race, a white person saying this is sometimes what they say in their own situation. Now, please, I beg you who are of other race listening to me, I pretty please please do not see this in a negative way. I'm just trying to use this as a lesson point. It's just the person says something along the line is like, it's about controlling you guys as black people, okay, until you fall in line. And what does that fall in line means that you start behaving according to what they want you to behave. Now, I understand this is similar tactics you're trying to put in this person until maybe he joins your group or maybe he falls to your own things. But he doesn't want to. Fear have overcome him too much. Even if you start being nice to him now, will it make him want to join? Maybe not. Maybe sometimes people don't want to join because they don't like the person. The same way. It's the same thing. So why would you then use the tactics that was used against your ancestors and still used against your own? Does it make sense? And on something that makes no sense. As I was trying to find, okay, what was the issue what did he do to you for you to do this? And why are you guys carrying weapons to school? Make it make sense. You're coming to learn, not to fight. I say it again for the last time and I'll end it. The price has been paid. If you want to waste the blood of your ancestors, do that. But don't waste the blood of other people's ancestors. Okay? The cost is too costly. People are out here, your fellow black boys and girls are out here achieving massive things through education system. And let no one tell you education system is a scam, although I think it should be preparing you for real life situation. It is not. Certain education subjects prepare you for that. All of them should. I think some don't. But anyways, that's my own opinion. But please, people are creating things, building things out of the same education system that everyone else is receiving. And you don't want them to receive it. Why? Because you don't want to. And if you are the parent of this child, please sit down and advise your child. Even if you are like your child whilst you're in school, you're no longer your child. You are now the parent. Parent. And finally, if you're a parent who was also bullied in school, and you say, oh, I experienced this, so. Stop looking at the eyes of your experience. Look at it from the lens of your child's experience. And I also say for African parents, stop looking at things from your own lens of experience. I know the parents says one particular thing. which I think shouldn't have been said. She says even if it was a one-to-one, at least I would not have said anything. No, you should have still said something. I understand one-to-one she's looking at it as a fair opportunity of him trying to defend himself. But it doesn't matter the number of people that are involved. Bullying is bullying. It still should not be tolerated, especially that type of bullying. Okay? And now you are the reason why some people that never knew your school now knows it. Out of what experience? Foolishness like that. The price has been paid. It's too costly for you to be wasting such system price. Okay? Thank you so much for listening. I will put a video up for you to also watch on this, although this is not um this is actually not a male to male situation, it's like females kind of bullying. um I will put a video up so that you know how to make up. It's not a bad thing to say, listen, I'm sorry. If you were dealing with issues, I don't care how you're going to say it. If you don't feel safe saying it in a situation where it's open, write a letter. Mhm. Apology is not a bad thing. Write a letter to apologize. Do something to apologize to the child and to the parents, acknowledging what you've done and what you could have caused them. And if you had a reason for doing it, state your reason. But if you can make reprobates, make reprobates. And that you can do that is making them, even integrating them into the school system if you're still going to the same school, and making them feel welcomed. Okay, that's my advice. And now, before sorry, as I was about to conclude, I'm just going to share the particular female video one that I watched that was on Instagram. She was talking about her experience as well as of being bullied. And my advice still is still the same for any situation in this, where she was told by her friend that her schoolmates were going to be her up or something like that, because of, and then she had a dream about it, of her dying. Can't remember. I tried to find her video, couldn't find it anymore. So she told her mom she didn't want to go to school, and her mom still let her go to school. Not for children, your parents are not being mean, it's just they didn't understand the level or extent of what you were talking about. And if you anything, please, if your child ever reports such a situation to you at home before you go to school, please be sure to go to school with them. I don't care what your work says. I know you have to feed them, but how are you going to feed the dead cops? Exactly. Go to the school and say, this is what my child reported, please can you look into it? Okay. And then drop the child off if they still want them to go to school. Or if anything, tell the child to go to school and call up the school and report the issue. At least they are aware. Okay, you have to work in collaboration with them as well to find a solution to the situation. And in this situation, the girl got beat up in school that she almost died. She was literally this. I got asking her how she survived it, and this is what all out of jealousy, because according to her, the students were talking about how she had a nice house. It's just stupid. I know so many things children will feel in school, but the level that you take it to display your feeling is really getting ridiculous. Okay? So please, not everyone is able to fight. Note it. There are some people you'll fight, they may not survive it, they may die in instinct. Don't just think I'm just going to beat the person up. Okay? You don't know what mentally people are going through. You don't know the physical health conditions of some people. You know, some people have what I call hidden disabilities that you do not know they are going through. So, and some of these hidden disabilities can even be things to do with sickle cell and all those things. You don't know what they are. You only know it when the experiences come about. There's multiple things that people go through. Notice, you all are children. Help each other. You are a school community. Help each other. Okay? And just to learn to develop and thrive. So that comes to the end of my video. There was too many more to talk, but I'm just going to insert some videos random here and there to help emphasize some of the points that I would like to make. Okay, thank you so much. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Signing off, Talkinsen.
But I've just been too scared to talk about it. We shouldn't treat others as if they are less human because we are more advantaged.
I know that now.
I think you owe Amarachi an apology.
I'll apologize to her. I promise.
Hey guys. The chemistry lab is not open yet.
We still have like 15 minutes.
Oh, okay. Brittany, I'm so sorry. I'm really, really sorry. I should have stood by you as a friend. I shouldn't have just stood by and watched other students insult you as they did.
It's fine, Cora. It's okay. Trust me.
And while we're at it, I owe you two an apology too. Enforcing my decisions on you two, that's not the character of a good friend. I'm so sorry, you guys. From now on, I promise, that would never repeat itself again.
And henceforth, we won't bully other people anymore, no matter where they're coming from.
Okay.
A hug?
Yes. Okay.
I've been meaning to ask you, is your mom a graduate?
Yes, why?
Well, I want to talk to my father to see if he will employ your mom as a teacher in the school.
Daisy, thank you so much, Daisy.
That's it.
I'm so happy. Thank you.
We are friends.
Oh my God.
My friend Daisy has promised to talk to her dad about hiring you in our school as a teacher.
Are you pulling my legs?
No.
Hello? Sir? Yes, sir. I'll be there tomorrow, sir. Your friend's father. He just said I should come tomorrow for an interview. Oh my God! Oh my God! Thank God.